Welcome guys back. So we can cover one more system today. What do we want to cover? We want to cover quickly before we start. I forgot to cover something last episode, so I'm just going to quickly cover it. We forgot to cover the stat displayer. So let's quickly cover this. Let's just have a list of stats as usual, and literally it's just a list of the Xenom. Right, of what stats you want to display. A list of output to where you output them to, so what texts go to which. That's not always useful, but like it's useful if, for example, things like the shop system and other things like that, and like how I'm displaying them here. These are all that. Fine. Wait, where's our inventory manager? Is it this? Oh, shop database. We can just do this. Is equal to game object dot find scripts dot get component like this, and that's what it looks like. There we go, all fixed. So all the stuff done here, this is all required. These are all each different texts, so this is for that text system. And then under here we just have to say. So what do you want to say in front of them? For example, say health, HP, whatever you want to say, that's important. So that's for this. Now that's not to be confused with our health bar, because they are a different system. Now, I mean, we're on the system of stats, so why don't we go into health bar? That's what we're talking about today. And it's done. There are two main scripts to I just closed fat saving. Damn it. That's fine. I'm sure it won't cause too many errors. So there's two main scripts to health bar. There's an argument script and there's a health bar. This argument script, this script's pretty darn good. If you want a better tutorial than what I'm quickly going to cover today, in less than 5 minutes, I've got a tutorial that goes through the whole system, shows you how to build health bars, and there's about 4 of them, right? There's like a basic one, there's advanced, and all this different things, how to build specific health bars, like potion health bars that look like circles, or like potions, or like beakers, or whatever you want to call it, and to do certain things with them, which are quite useful for things like maybe. But the thing about this is not just health bar, because even a squad health bar could be a loading bar. Very, very easily. So there's the argument, and these are all the arguments, and arguments are very important, because what arguments say is that the whole idea of this argument system is that if X is how will I explain it in a second? No, I know. We'll go for it. But argument system asks me to say, well, if your health is less than 50, then make your whole health bar red. If your health is between 50 and 60, then make it orange. And if it's above 60, make it green, kind of thing. You know, those specific arguments that say do this, do that, or do this. You know, specific displays of what to do. So this is the text stuff. These things here. Oh, sorry. These things here are our outputs. Our mask, our outline, our health bar, and our text health. Now, I really don't want to cover this whole system, like how the mask thing works, just because I've already covered it. So I feel like I've already covered this, but I'm going to cover it just because I feel I should. Here we go. So you see, there's a few things. This is health. This is just says like 10 HP at 10 HP. Like here, text. This is the mask. We better remove the shop. So the mask is over on the mask is the next one. So we first have the outline. Without everything else, we just get this like nice outline thing. You should probably build an outline. That way, so when it's 0, you can see just the outline, obviously. So basically, if it's halfway, this bit will be outlined. Very important. And then the mask, you gotta make sure this is false. The mask basically says what the image bar is. So what we do is we affect the scale of the mask to affect how it looks. Do you get what I'm saying? So if the mask is lower, then we'll show less. Because basically, how masks work is all its children, they can only display their graphic if their like a position is within the mask. So if the bar, if whatever is within the mask is shown, whatever is outside the mask isn't. Which it doesn't even matter for that, I think, but that's fine. So whatever is outside the mask isn't shown. So you see this. But yeah, so you can kind of see how it works. And you shouldn't be changing that, you should be changing the scale by, for example. So make sure you just change the scale, not the position like that, how I've been doing it. But that's fine. And the bar is literally just a bar. So that's very simple, but it works very well. So that's what those things are. These things are. HP, max HP and divide range. Very important. I'll explain a bit later. Divide range, you don't set. You have HP, how much current HP you have, and how much max HP. Now this is not actually your max and current HP. This is HP means anything, so it could be mana and max mana, experience and next experience. You know, it could be armor, max armor. It could be current progress, max progress. You know, it's just a way to say the maximum value that you can possibly get and your current value. This game object is to say if the object gets below 0, so thus you would die for health HP. Then what object? And we just turn it on. So we just turn on the object. So you can have like a little thing turn on that says you're all dead, and you maybe have an update function that does everything else. And since the update function only runs when it's on, it works that way. Maybe not. Seems interesting. This is what it displays. This is whether or not you want it going across the x-axis or you want it going across the y-axis. So if we say y is equal to true. Interesting, all these are somehow I did them under here, but what we say y is now equal to true, you see something very different. Obviously short main must be on, and we're going to buy something. You're going to see something very, very different. We're going to buy one of these. I thought, oh, damn it, I gave the wrong thing. Gave myself a lot of money doing holy cow. We're going to get gold. And you see how it's done thing differently? Yeah. And you go, well, why does this look so weird? Well, because I can't believe I'm actually going to follow this whole Y thing. Because of it's mainly just see. Some random reason this thing's not. Okay, that's weird. It's really weird. Oh, that's a bit different. I've actually made a mistake here. Let's fix up this mistake before we do much else. There we go, that's a pretty big mistake. And then now, it's still not sure. Normally you can change the pivot. Some random reason it's not allowing me to. See, normally the pivot can change, but apparently for some random reason, it's not gonna. But yeah, so normally, I don't know why it's not allowing me to change the pivot. It must be something they've done with the new thing. But normally you change the pivot and the pivot determines how it turns. Probably gonna turn off Y, but you know, you can kind of see how it does it. You'd have to build it a bit differently though. And then we're gonna keep going. Stats is just, why do we have stats? Oh, excuse that stupidness right there, and then we're just gonna just obviously do our old thing. Dot start instance. If you guys don't know, this was originally since I just kind of came in here and do this a bit quickly, it means that this wasn't originally here. I'm just adding this. It just means that we can actually move an extra variable. So what the stat thing does is this stat says what stats to display. So for here we're using our mana and our max mana, and you go, well, why can't you set them here? Well, yeah, we could if we were using external application, but this allows us to do it all under a single script without having to access that script. So it kind of cuts down the amount of communication between scripts as little as possible, which is kind of what we want. Because if a script is so isolated that it only works by itself and it doesn't need anything else to work, I mean, like nothing else requires it to work, that's pretty darn good. Because our health bar shouldn't require stats. A stat system shouldn't require a health bar. A health bar should be able to work by itself. As long as we give it things, it should work. So for our health bar to be able to go out and get its own variables, it means nothing else is dependent on that. Which means that bugs affect little things as possible. So let's go through it. We're just saying HP this is an update function, and every second HP is equal to our first variable, and max HP is equal to our second variable, obviously. Our divide range is equal to HP divided by this, and the reason we do this is our scale. So if our HP divided by max HP is 0.5, which is 50%, so we're at 50% capacity, it would become 0.5. Because if you don't know the old trick, which is your, I know for example a score on a test, which is say how test is equal to how you really divided by the best score possible. And that's how it works. That's how you figure out the best score. That's how you figure out the percentage that you got. If you got 49% test and the maximum you could get is 86, then you do 49 divided by 86 times 100, and that's your percentage. So we're doing the same thing here, but since we're not working on a percentage for our scale, we're just literally getting a value between 0 and 1. We don't need times by 100. And then we're saying the health is equal to the like display health, to say how much health we have, is equal to display wait, what? Oh yeah. I'm not liking this, is really confusing because it looks like text health is equal to text health, but it's not. Text health is like the output object is equal to what we're displaying, so like HP here plus a stat instance, which one is here? A stat instance dot stats, so plus the stats basically. One stupid thing here that I can cut down is I don't need to do this. I can just go HP or max HP, can't I? So that's another thing that you may have picked up when you I guess, because this stuff was done pretty recently, so it was probably just rushing through and just copying and pasting things like crazy. So this thing is we're saying if you're not Y, so you're going on the x-axis, so horizontal as my mouse is going, and the divide range is over 0. So that way it's just to save like errors, and divide range is less than infinity. It's just so we're kind of clamping it between the two extremes. Then what we're saying is we're saying mask the local scale of the mask. The scale of the mask is equal to our divide range by 1 by 1. If we're doing it by the Y, then we're saying it is equal to 1 by the divide range by 1. So we're doing it like horizontally, vertically. And this is where we're checking if you actually have arguments. Now let's go through what arguments are. Arguments are a few things. They have an amount, a sign, the signs. Oh, what? Why do we have signs? Oh, yeah, I understand. Okay, it makes perfect sense now. I'm just stupid like this. Okay, so it's saying, hey, what's the amount? So yeah, say 10 HP. What's the sign? Is it plus? Is it minus? Is it equal? Is it whether? What's the signs? What sign do you display? Do you display a green? Do you display a red? So you're just giving an like a sprite. So when this argument is true, it will display that sprite. And then and is saying, does this have a and variable? Does it have a variable? And then and v means basically just saying, give me the index of the and variable, right? So just say on my screen that looked like a comma. So we're saying, hey, let's say you gotta be less than 10 HP but more than 0 HP. So what would we do? We'd go, our first argument would be less than 10, so it'd be 10 less. Should this be this? Don't worry, it's just how we've done it. I couldn't figure a way to like have a type called like a sign, so that, and then we'd get a string which would just be a sprite of what it would look like, red or whatever. And we go, hey, yes, you do have a second part to this. So the reason you wouldn't say the second part is when you're saying, hey, if you're equal to exactly 59 or 44 or whatever, or you're greater than 60, right? And the public integer and v is equal to, how I've actually done amount is it, that's not right, you actually could go 0.5, but this would be 0.1. So the thing is that 10 is quite a specific amount. It really is. So what if you had maybe only 10 HP, maximum HP? Well, that's a bit ridiculous, you know. So we've actually done something called a different system where it's like a 0.1 or 0.2 or whatever, and what this means is that the amount is just like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, or whatever, right? Simple. Yeah. So 0.1%. So if you're 10% of less than 10% of your max HP, which is 10 out of 100, then and this is your and v. So the and is the other index is equal to 1. So the other index, you can't actually write this under code. You have to do this under the system. And the other index, and then you do the same over here, which would be like greater than 0, you know, all that stuff. And 0 would obviously be just 0 because it is obviously not possible. Or not possible, but yeah, as you see, so there's a few things, and we're going for each argument, and if argument I, if it does not equal and, so it doesn't have a second variable, it's only by itself, then we switch it. Then we go, okay, well, if the little if it's less than, then do less than. If it's greater than, then do greater than. And for each one of these, we're saying if this is true, then it actually has a sign to display, then display that sign. If it's equal, then do equal. If it's greater than equal, then do greater than equal. If it's less than equal, then do greater than equal. If it does have a second variable, then what we're doing is we're checking if that and the second variable the amount is equal to greater than max HP. So we're checking two things. So that's less than. So less than is both less than and greater than or equal to. Greater than is both greater than and less than or equal to. Equal to is both, you can't have a equal, yeah, you can't. And then greater than equal is obviously having one less than and having one greater than equal, which is the same here, but for some reason I did this way, and the same with it. And if you can die, then we're just sending a variable which is true. Holy cow, that took forever. I'm not even joking, that took way too long, right? Way too long, but that's fine. I'm deciding what I want to do now. Whether or not I end the video here, 20 minutes in. Did I go for start display? I did, didn't I? That's it. I'm gonna stop it here. And the next episode, you're going to see a ability on how the ability system works. Thanks guys so much for watching. See you next time.